Welcome to Food Chest, where we say everything with our food chest. You know what I'm saying? So, hope you're having a good weekend. So, there's something that came up that was really interesting to me, and I kind of really wanted to talk about it. Like recently, there has been this whole thing about um, the year of return, like people of African descent who are in the diaspora coming back to Africa and kind of reconnecting with their roots and all that good stuff, which I think is a good thing. It's great to do that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's been happening. I think Ghana really made it popular. But the thing is that I think that they're like top 8 African countries who have been doing this or who are currently doing this. Of course, Ghana is the first. Then Ghana, Sierra Leone, Gabon, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Cape Verde, and also Kenya are the countries who are like really at the forefront of this reconnection of Africans in the diaspora. So this has been like going on and everything, and a lot of people like last year 2024 Ghana had like this insert, even like what's his name, Stevie Wonder became a citizen of Ghana. Dr. Umar Ifatunde Johnson became a citizen of Ghana as well. So it's something that has been going on, like people reconnecting, kumbaya. It's been good stuff. And I'm all for it. I think it's a great thing that countries are doing this. African countries are doing such a thing and allowing people to like, especially people who want to like to reconnect with the motherland. Because I know there are some people who believe, some African Americans, that they're Americans, that their ancestral roots are in the Americas, which is great too. But I think it's a great thing. I think it's something that African countries are doing that is awesome, and applaud these countries for doing that. And I think I've always wondered, of course, some of the reasons are a no-brainer, right? We know that some of the reasons why these African countries want to extend such favors, it's because they want to kind of like acknowledge the shared history of these people. Also want to kind of reconnect, allowing people to reconnect with their roots. Knowing where you come from is a sense of pride. You're proud of yourself when you know that, I'm from the Igbo tribe. These are my people. I'm Zulu. I'm Kosa. It's just a prideful thing to know that you're coming from this place, which is the reason why it's good. People are connecting with their roots and all. And of course, there's always like the interest part of it. Apart from like the sentimental part, there's always the part of like these countries want to boost tourism. They're trying to attract investment. They're also trying to, promote a sense of Pan-Africanism, which again, Dr. Umar Johnson will be very proud of that as well. So these are some of the great things that these African countries are trying to promote, trying to reconnect and all that stuff, which is great. One of the things that I was listening to NTA News, which is a Nigerian television authority news, and the Nigerian Population Commission was actually getting involved in this, trying to make housing stuff available.
The Fulani. That is what DNA can do.
Pig is leading the campaign
for people who are actually kind of reconnecting with Nigeria, African Americans that, and again, this is true, like we have to do a DNA test through ancestry.com, which is shown, here. And you do your DNA test, and if it comes out that you're Nigerian, you're Ghana, you go and boom, you get citizenship. Boom, you get citizenship, right? So that's kind of what's going on. But here's my question, though, right? I think all this is great, but I just have a question, right? People who are getting their citizenship are not children; they are adults, right? They are adults that have come into a certain level in their lives. They have a certain kind of ideology. There's a lifestyle they are used to living. Some of them have history of doing certain things and all that stuff. Now, most African countries lack proper infrastructure, right? In all ramifications. So whether it's security infrastructure, whether it's health infrastructure, it's lacking, and that is the truth. It's unfortunate, but this is what it is, right? So my question is that, are these countries just kind of, oh, your DNA, you're African, boom, here is citizenship, you're welcome to our land? Is that what is going on? Ghanaians are like popular for this. Like, is that really what's happening in Ghana? Are people just like, I have Ghanaian blood, a DNA in me, boom, I get citizenship? Or are there some kind of due diligence that is happening? Because here's my take. I think that there has to be due diligence. This is the reason why there needs to be due diligence, right? Like I mentioned before, people who are coming into these countries are people who, they're not kids. I know if they're kids, if it's kids, that's different. Like, we can let kids be, we can, kids are kids. But when it's full grown adults who are coming into these countries, I think there has to be due diligence, because people have a history. You can't be allowing people who have criminal records into the country, like people who have a past of criminal activity, who have a part of anything that has to involve like a mal way, like things that are criminal, basically. And I hope these countries have a method by which they go into the background, do a proper background check of people they're allowing into their country, to make sure that these people don't have a history of activities that they're bringing into their country. Because when a lot of Africans migrate legally, they also go through this thing. So I hope that these African countries are not just saying, oh, come everybody, let's go, kumbaya, let's move. I hope there are proper background checks that are being done to make sure that you're allowing people who are able to contribute to your society into your country. And also, I also hope that, like, things are being done to make sure that, like I mentioned, people who have criminal pasts and stuff, and people like mental health issues are properly addressed before you bring people into the country. And also, one thing again, like I mentioned, people have ideologies. People have a way of life they've been living. Africa has a way and ideology as well. So if you're bringing in new people into your land, you're bringing in ideologies that might be different from what you're used to. Is Africa ready to handle those ideologies? Are these countries ready for these ideologies? And did this country have the infrastructures that are in place to evaluate, to make sure that people who are coming in are the right people to come into their country? Or is this just a free for all? That is my thing, and that is the question I'm asking. And I would like to, if people who are in the places that are administering these citizenships, please let us know, like, what are the qualifications? Is it just for you to prove that I have DNA from the Gabon, so therefore give me citizenship? Or are there other aspects in order for you to qualify for these citizenships? Because I will hope and believe that these countries are smart enough to know that you can't just allow anybody who is not a child, who has lived, has ideology, has a background, just into your country just like that. Whether they're living or whether they're coming in and out, there still needs to be proper background checks. Apart from that, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great thing that is happening in these countries, and I think it should keep going on. People want to connect. People want to come back to the motherland that some didn't like before. But hey, Africa is the future, so I think it's a great thing. But again, infrastructure is important, and also there needs to be proper due diligence, and there needs to be proper background checks done on people who are entering into the continent, who are full-fledged adults. I think that would be necessary. I don't know what you think. I mean, what do you think? I really want to hear from people who have experienced this, people who have received citizenship, and how, what's the process like? Like, let us know. Comment again, subscribe to the channel, hit likes, let's get some engagement. Full chest.